Morning, everybody. I had been processing a conversation that I had on a call-in show with an atheist a little while back, and figured I would take his question and pose it to the rest of you and get your thoughts on it. The question was, is belief a choice? Is belief a choice? My answer was, yeah, of course it is. And his answer was, no, it's not. It's something that happens as a result of evidence that you see. I had never considered that position before, because I'd never heard it framed like that before. Upon further review, I think I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I don't necessarily think that that means that it's entirely based off of evidence that's presented to you. I think there's a component to it that the caller was missing, and that a lot of atheists actually end up missing or glossing over or just not giving as much credit to it. And that is trust. We're looking at evidence, and that evidence is going to shape our belief. Trust is vitally important to the shaping of that belief. I think you can be presented with all kinds of evidence that you want, and the evidence that you trust shapes your belief. The evidence that you don't trust doesn't. And so for all of my atheist listeners out there, I think that's something that needs to be recognized in order to better understand a theist perspective. People use the term faith all the time, and as if that's some sort of lesser thing than evidence. Faith is, to some degree, a fancy way of acknowledging there's trust. And so when theists say, oh, atheists also have faith, a lot of the time I think that's what they're talking about. Like, it's not that you have a religious belief, but rather that you trust the sources, you trust the science, you trust the evidence to shape your belief. So that trust component is vitally important, especially for a theist. For Christians, like, we trust the word of Jesus, and we trust what the Bible says, and that shapes our belief, right? We consider that to be evidence that is compelling enough for us to put our trust in. Others don't, but that trust is really, really essential to shaping the belief. And so I think it's important that we don't gloss over that part of that conversation. But I'm curious what everyone else thinks. Belief. Is it something that you choose? Or is it something that just happens?